Here are top 5 tips when it comes to climbing up Victory Track to try and get into a Gladiator Circuit. Getting into Gladiator Circuit and climbing Victory Track is not an easy process for all accounts. There will be smaller accounts trying to make a jump up, and it is not going to be always possible, especially if you get stomped on by higher accounts like myself that want to get up there as well. This season is very self-evident of a better kind of grind opportunity whilst going up. Shout out to Misty K. Link in the description to Misty K's amazing infographic and work as well. You can get a lot more rewards with a lot less effort in theory if you are willing to do Battleground Season 27. You can see these are the rewards right here that you can collect over the length of time, ranging in volume and spice and other stuff like that. But anyway, let's get into the 5 top tips. Pinned or kind of like, yeah, just tabbed bits to the 5 tips will be found in the bottom of the screen, but also in the description with some notes around what I'm talking about. So tip number 1 is all about knowing your limits. Your limits are not going to be like extensive if you're looking at your account and going, well, I only have 5 stars, I only have 4 stars, got the occasional 6-star. You might not be able to make so much of a gain because you might find yourself being put against a lot higher accounts. This isn't exactly ideal and of course is not favorable, but you will have to pick and choose when you play Battlegrounds. A lot of people say that 2 weeks into the season, is that when you kind of get involved with it? Maybe. Also, times of the day. If in your respective countries you're noticing that a lot higher accounts or lower accounts may appear at different times of the day, then make sure to play at those times. If you work, then maybe kind of like on your lunch break, try and play a few rounds, especially if you know that, well, if everyone else is going to be at work, then you might not face higher accounts. If kids are in schools, then it's a probably best time to play. Or as well, times of like later evening, just before maybe you're going to bed. And of course, kids and other people that have got expendable time will be able to play. So kind of pick and choose when you play and notice, make a note of like what kind of opponents you have. Are they fairer, unfairer? Because then you'll start to chart a better time to play, whether it's in your time zone or a different time zone. Next up, don't be afraid to make changes. If you're finding that certain champions are difficult to face off against, then guess what? That is given an indication that you might want to rank up said champion to be a bit more of a better asset for you in defense, similar to who you faced off against in like, you know, defense. Or you're finding champions that are quick in attack, that are able to take down opponents. If they're able to take down opponents fairly quickly, that can be a very important element. So don't be afraid to make changes to your deck, make additions, take champions away. If champions are easily defeated, then take them out of the deck, replace them with new ones, but always look to adapt as the season goes on, depending on how further you're getting into Victory Track itself. And also coupled with that, take notes of who's in your attack and who's in your defense. One thing that I do every season is I'll go a list of attackers and a list of defenders in my deck. And then I'll kind of go, okay, well, how have they done? Can I change them? Should I change them? Who was a pain in the butt that I faced off against? And who paired against whatever champion easily? A lot of mutants are doing relatively well, but also there could be a lot of kind of very annoying defenders. So take a look at metas and other people, what they're using, and see if it works for you. Next, time. Okay, time is a very important element to Battlegrounds. Not completely, because it's under good conditions. The more health that you are left with, so having more like next up, time. Time is very important within the mode because you want to be able to take down enemies quickly. So if you've got a champion, it's not the be all and end all, but it is important from having a champion. Here's the point. A champion that has got things that will allow them to take down enemies quickly. So if they've got buffs like Fury buffs, Fury passives, especially this particular month, champions that are dot champions may not be advantageous. Especially under the Victory Track meta, they will shrug them. So if we'll cleanse it, purify it, whatever you want to call it. So champions that apply debuffs like Silk, like Death of She-Hulk, to name but a few, if they're struggling it off, then that's a problem. But if you've got champions that are just focused on having buffs themselves, like your Cosmic champions, they might be a good option. Or champions that are easily able to ramp, but don't require dot or debuff as to means to build their attack from that. So look at those champions, and also being quick, and they might be the ones that are going to be really good. And champions that have access to prowess buffs. You know, a lot of mutant champions, Bishop, Kitty Pryde, those will allow you quick access to them and be able to do damage very quickly and very efficiently, especially when they throw special attacks. Unless there's a good counter in defense that suppresses power generation and buffs generation at the same time. Next up is Light Essence. Light Essence, unless you spend, is going to be difficult to get, right? From a difficult to gain perspective, we have had some advantages in that we've had some compensation, providing you did Nightmare Raise. If you didn't, then Light Essence from getting into Gladiator Circuit might be the most opportune thing. If Battleground, we know Battleground's 27 with the one we're in at the moment, and also 28 we'll see Light Essence. Don't know if it will be 29, 30, 31, whatever it is, continuing on, but we definitely know that that's where you can get the Light Essence at this moment in time. The other areas, so you take, the point of this tip is take your opportunity whilst you can to grab Light Essence. If you can, push to it. A lot of players will be pushing towards it, so try to be careful on, and also choose maybe Saga champions to help out in your endeavors, because it will allow you to make some, well, give you a little bit of a bonus, 10% attack and health. Okay, sort of helpful. But you need to get to Light Essence, otherwise Lumitrix is not going to be a champion that is possible for you in at least this year. The final tip is kind of for alliances in general. If a lot of players are playing Battlegrounds, which could be the case because of the reward structure changes, and as well the points, and I think Kabam might have, I could be wrong here, doubled up in the amount of rewards that you can get because they got the solo event at the same time. It means that a lot of people are going to be grinding Battlegrounds, or a higher number than usual are getting involved with Battlegrounds. If that's the case, it does bump up Alliance points ranks. Shout out to MCC Avenger, link in the description to MCC Avenger, where you can see that the points are divvied out like so. From a baseline interest perspective, so the amount of points that Alliances are theoretically going to make as to how it will change the ranking system side of things is, well, let's go with the facts, or you know, some equations or assessments and estimates. Estimates, the right word there. If there's 56 fights that you win in the pursuit to get up to Gladiator Circuit, let's say theoretically, that's about 378,000 points. It may be more, it may be less, it may be a lot more, right? Let's assume that that's the number right there per player of the 30. We then take that number and times it by the 30, and that gives us 11.3 mil. If that's what your alliance is on, that means a lot of alliances will be on 11.3 mil, which, let's face it, is going to bump up the scores. And as you know, from a bump up the scores type month, when Kabam put chase rewards and chase meta things in it, it does mean that then a lot of, not everybody can be position 83. That's the final point. So alliances that are comfortable with getting a certain amount of points may have to push a little bit more to get up a bit higher. And also those that normally get about 11.3 mil, you're probably going to say to yourself, well, we didn't get exactly what we thought we were going to get from it this time. So as a forewarning, top tip would be to farm if you're wanting more. And of course, content if you're, not getting that amount. Anyway, that is it. That's all 5 tips when it comes to climbing up Victory Track or associated with it as well. I have to phrase I'm going to do this video, but I wanted to kind of like do that. How's your grind going? Very early on into it. Have your say in the comments and check out some other content. Support the channel. That'd be great. Cheers and bye-bye.